Jermall, do you think Canelo's move to 168 means that he don't want no smoke at 160?
He's scared. Where you at, Cinnamon? We've been calling you out for a long time. It's that time to show up. Show up. Get the people what they want to see.
Breaking news came out today that the pioneer of the NBF league in the sport of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, has officially turned down more than $100 million guaranteed to fight both Charlo and David Benavidez. $45 million guaranteed plus pay-per-view was offered for Canelo to fight Charlo, and $55 million guaranteed plus pay-per-view was offered for Canelo to fight David Benavidez, making this the biggest offer on the table that Canelo Alvarez ever had in his entire career. And would you guys believe Canelo turned it down? Which raises the question, what is Canelo Alvarez fighting for? Apparently, it's not legacy nor money. Canelo doesn't fight for legacy nor for money, since the Charlo and the Benavidez fights are the biggest legacy and money fights on the table for Canelo Alvarez. See, Canelo is not in the sport of boxing to prove he's the best. Absolutely not. Because that would mean him fighting for the biggest money fights against Charlo, Andrade, and David Benavidez. But that's clearly not the case. That's clearly not what Canelo Alvarez is doing. After all, the biggest legacy fights are the biggest money fights. Just take a peep at history. So what Canelo Alvarez is doing is playing it safe, cherry picking, ducking all of the dangerous fights, the 50-50 fights, all of the biggest legacy for the biggest money fights, in order to cherry pick Avini, Rocky Fielding, Makabu, fights that are not even 95 to 5%. Majority of the times, Canelo Alvarez opponents don't even have a 5% chance of winning because he goes hard in the paint when he cherry picking. If you may wonder why, what's the point? What is the point of Canelo Alvarez making it to the Super Bowl only to pull out of the championship games in order to play against a team that did not even make it to the playoffs? I mean, in all sports, everyone wants to prove they the best by competing in the final stage for the biggest legacy and money, except of Canelo. Yeah, you will never see a team pull out of the Super Bowl game, except of Canelo. Essentially, Canelo is in the sport of boxing to protect a record that is not even perfect. How embarrassing. See, Canelo is missing that substance called cojones, called courage, called wanting to prove you the best. Because Canelo already knows he is not the best. See, the way Canelo Alvarez operates, the way he moves, the way he thinks. If Canelo believes he can't beat someone, it's no problem. He just avoids them. He puts them on the blacklist, aka the horrible fighter list. Again, it ain't about legacy. It ain't about money for Canelo. So when Canelo was offered $40 million guaranteed to fight Andrade for Undisputed, he turned it down. Just like today, he turned down Charlo and Benavidez for more than $100 million guaranteed. Because in Canelo's mind, he's thinking, man, I don't care how much you pay me. There is no money in the world that I'm willing to accept for me to get in the ring and get my ass kicked. If you can't beat them, don't fight them, regardless of the price. Which, once again, proves Canelo is not the best fighter in the world, since he is not even the best in his division. Canelo has never been the best in any division he campaigned in. Matter of fact, Canelo is the Ryan Garcia at 168, meaning the weakest link. You see how everyone goes after Ryan because he's the weakest link? Well, guess what? At 168, everyone is going after Canelo because he is the weakest link. We know for a fact they're not going after Canelo because of the money. Since Canelo is the only one getting paid, they not getting paid for fighting Canelo. In fact, Both Charlo and Benavidez want more money to fight Andre than Canelo Alvarez, which proves it's not about the money. It's more so about Canelo being the weakest link, the Ryan Garcia at 168. Canelo is ultimately becoming the biggest duck of all time. I challenge you Canelo fans to name me one fighter that turned down that top of a deal. A guaranteed 100 million plus pay-per-view. I'll wait. And I will be waiting forever because there is none making Canelo the undisputed duck that any sport, forget about boxing, any sport had ever seen. With the facts being laid out, now Canelo is leaning toward the Makabu or the DAZN deal. But if Canelo ends up fighting Bivol at 175, not a catchweight, if Canelo fights Bivol at 175, even though Canelo thinks that's an easy fight because Bivol is vulnerable to the body, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know right now, that's a 50-50 fight, even for the European assassin Canelo Alvarez, because Bivol controls the distance very well. With that being stated, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.
So I'm the first fighter to hold 5 titles at one particular time. Now I don't know if nobody has done that. Now we got I think we got Canelo right now got 4. What 3? I don't know what the number. I think he got 4. And then he's going up to cruiserweight. He's fighting a guy that's really not you know, the guy up and down, but it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up. He's going up to cruise, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy was he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys was really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean we got a lot. Benavidez can go up and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing. You know, like I said before. Do I like this fight? Absolutely not. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen. Hell of a fighter. And even Benavidez should be ranked in the top pound for pound. You know? But what we don't talk about is, you know, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. And he was on. What? He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know. That's y'all. Just Canelo. Come on, man. That kid was a cakewalk. Kid, easy.
You named 5 fighters.
Hablando precisamente de límites, yo tuve el gusto de ver gran parte de tus peleas y toda tu carrera. Nunca pasaste de las 147. Tradicionalmente el boxeador mexicano no es ni de estatura ni de tamaño. Sin embargo, vemos esta ironía en Canelo, que lo conocimos en la 147 y ahora está peleando en la 168.
Sí, porque es un peleador, su complexión le da para eso, Claudia. Si tú ves el Canelo, pues muy espaldón, tiene unas piernonas. Y es un peleador que se adapta en 154, 168, 135, lo ves, y no se ve gordo, ¿me entiendes? Yo, la verdad, pues yo nunca pude dar 147 libras. O sea, no...
143 fue lo máximo.
Lo máximo que di fueron 141, 142 libras cuando peleé con De La Hoya y cuando peleé con Whittaker. Pero nunca pude dar yo 147 libras, ¿me entiendes? Y la verdad, o sea, a mí no me dio para más, ¿me entiendes? Porque mi complexión, pues no me lo da, pero hay peleadores como Canelo que la verdad puede pelear este peso completo, yo creo, y se va a ver